Now, let's go a little deeper into eligibility rules, because many couples don't realize how specific the requirements are to qualify for the maximum $535 in August 2025. Your household income needs to fall within the federal poverty guidelines. For a two-person household, that typically means gross monthly income of around $2,000 or less, though the exact number may vary slightly depending on your state and any deductions you claim. These deductions can include rent, mortgage, utility costs, and even medical expenses for seniors. The lower your countable income, the higher your benefit amount. Here's where many couples go wrong. They assume that because they earn Social Security or a small pension, they won't qualify. But in reality, SNAP takes into account your total expenses. For example, if you and your spouse bring in $1,800 a month in Social Security but your rent is $900 and your medical costs are another $300, your countable income drops significantly. That means you're far more likely to qualify for the full $535 benefit. Let me give you another example. In Pennsylvania, a couple named Mark and Linda live primarily on Social Security disability insurance. Their rent and utility bills consume most of their monthly check, leaving little left for food. When they applied for SNAP, they were pleasantly surprised to find that they qualified for the maximum allotment for $535. Linda told me, "That card feels like breathing room. Without it, we'd be choosing between groceries and medication." Their story highlights the very purpose of SNAP. It's not about luxury, it's about survival and dignity. Now, let's talk about state deposit schedules a little more, because this is the single most confusing aspect of SNAP benefits. As I mentioned earlier, every state has its own payment schedule, and within each state, the exact date depends on your case number, Social Security number, or EBT card digits. For example, Texas issues payments from the 1st through the 15th. Florida spreads them out from the 1st through the 28th. California typically pays between the 1st and 10th. New York distributes from the 1st through the 9th, depending on case numbers. Georgia issues from the 5th through the 23rd. This means if you're in Georgia and your case number ends with a 7, you might not see your payment until the 19th or 20th, even though your neighbor with a different number received theirs much earlier in the month. It's not that your benefits were cut, it's just how the system staggers payments to avoid overwhelming grocery stores and banks with millions of transactions on a single day. Unfortunately, this confusion often leads to frustration. I've heard from couples who were convinced they were skipped or removed from the program, when in fact, their payment was still on the way. The lesson here is simple: always check your state's schedule and your card date before panicking. Your benefits are likely coming, it's just a matter of timing. But what happens if your money doesn't show up on the scheduled day? First, always check your balance online or by calling the number on the back of your EBT card. Sometimes the money is there but hasn't reflected at your store yet. If it's not there, contact your state's SNAP office immediately. Delays can sometimes be caused by paperwork issues, verification problems, or even small errors like a mismatched address. The earlier you call, the faster the issue can be resolved. Another mistake couples often make is forgetting to recertify. SNAP benefits aren't permanent, you have to periodically renew your eligibility. If you miss your recertification date, your benefits can stop altogether. That's why it's so important to open every piece of mail from your SNAP office and pay attention to those reminder letters. Too many families lose months of benefits simply because they didn't send in the renewal paperwork on time. Now, let's address something else people ask all the time. Can my SNAP benefits roll over if I don't use them? The answer is yes. Any unused benefits from one month automatically carry over to the next. But if you go for 9 months without using your card, the account can be closed, and you'll have to reapply. For couples who are careful with budgeting, carrying over unused benefits can be a smart way to stock up for holidays or unexpected expenses. And here's one more tip that couples often overlook. In many states, SNAP recipients also qualify for the Restaurant Meals Program, RMP, if they are elderly, disabled, or homeless. This allows you to use your EBT card at certain restaurants like Subway, Domino's, and even local diners. Not every state offers this, but for couples who struggle with cooking or have health issues, it can be a game changer. Before we wrap up, I want to remind you that SNAP is not charity, it's a government program designed to support taxpayers, workers, retirees, and families who have contributed to this country. Couples who receive the $535 are not taking handouts, they are receiving assistance they've earned and deserve. With food prices still climbing, It's more important than ever that households know their rights and stay informed. So, here's the bottom line for August 2025. If you're a couple on SNAP, the maximum benefit you can receive is $535, but your actual payment may vary depending on your income and expenses. Your money will be deposited on your EBT card according to your state's payment schedule, which could be any time between the 1st and the 28th. Always check your balance, know your recertification dates, and don't hesitate to call your SNAP office if something looks off. So, as we move through August, make sure you check your card date, know your state's schedule, and don't let confusion or misinformation cost you your benefits. Couples and families across America, listen carefully because this August is bringing an update you can't afford to miss. For millions of households relying on food stamps, also known as the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program or SNAP, the latest numbers are in. And for couples specifically, the benefit amount is now set at $535 per month. That's money loaded directly onto your EBT card, helping you buy groceries, fresh produce, and daily essentials. But here's the part most people get wrong. Your payment doesn't always arrive on the same day as everyone else. It depends entirely on your state's schedule, and sometimes even on the last digits of your case or EBT card number, which means that if you're not paying attention, you might panic when the money isn't there yet even though it's on the way. So today, we're breaking it all down. We'll talk about what the $535 payment really means, how couples can qualify, when your money will show up this August, and why it's so important to check your card date. And along the way, I'll share real-life stories of couples already receiving these benefits, as well as the pitfalls that cause others to get delayed or even miss their payment. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to expect, and how to make sure not a single dollar slips through your hands. Now let's start with the basics. SNAP, formerly known as food stamps, is the nation's largest food assistance program. It helps more than 40 million Americans every month, and its goal is simple: to ensure that no household has to go hungry, no matter their income level. Benefits are loaded directly onto an EBT card, which works just like a debit card at grocery stores, supermarkets, and even some online retailers. And for August 2025, the federal maximum allotment for a household of 2 people, yes, couples, is $535. Why this number? Every year, the U.S. Department of Agriculture reviews cost of living data, inflation, and food price trends to determine how much support families need, with grocery prices still higher than what most Americans remember before inflation took off. These numbers are adjusted to keep up with reality. So if you and your spouse, partner, or household member are on SNAP as a 2-person family, that's the number you should be looking for, $535. But let me be clear, not every couple will see the full $535. The exact amount you receive depends on your income, household expenses, and eligibility. Some households may receive slightly less if their income is above the lowest threshold, while others, especially retirees or couples living on Social Security, can qualify for the full maximum benefit. Still, the point is this: $535 is the ceiling, and many couples in lower income brackets will receive that exact amount this August. Let's put this into perspective with a real-world example. Meet Sarah and David, a retired couple living in Ohio. David worked in construction for most of his life, but after an injury, he was forced into early retirement. Sarah receives a modest Social Security check each month. Together, their income just barely covers rent, utilities, and medical bills. By enrolling in SNAP, they now receive $535 every month on their EBT card. This allows them to fill their fridge with fruits, vegetables, meats, and other essentials without worrying if they'll have enough left over for gas or prescriptions. For Sarah and David, SNAP isn't just a program, it's a lifeline. Now let's talk about when you'll actually see that money this August. This is where confusion hits most people. SNAP payments aren't universal across all states. Each state creates its own deposit schedule. Some states send benefits out in the first 10 days of the month, while others stretch it across 20 days, and a handful release payments all the way until the 28th. The date you get paid usually depends on things like the last digit of your Social Security number, the last digit of your EBT card, or your case file number. For example, in Texas, SNAP benefits are distributed from the 1st to the 15th of the month, depending on the last digit of your case number. In Florida, benefits are spread out between the 1st and the 28th, and in California, payments often run between the 1st and the 10th. This means that two couples in different states, or even in the same state but with different case numbers, could see their money on completely different days. That's why it's so important to check your card date and not panic if you don't see the deposit on August 1st. Unfortunately, many people don't realize this. I've seen countless comments from recipients who assumed their benefits were cut, delayed, or lost, when in reality, their assigned date just hadn't arrived yet. One woman from Florida recently shared that she thought her card had been hacked because her money wasn't there on the 3rd of the month. But after calling her SNAP office, she learned that her household number placed her deposit date on the 14th. Sure enough, the money showed up exactly as scheduled. Her story is a reminder to all of us: patience and awareness are key when it comes to SNAP. And while we're on the subject of payments, let's clear up one big misconception. SNAP benefits are not loans. You don't have to pay them back. They are designed as direct assistance to help families, seniors, and couples afford food. The $535 that shows up on your card each month is yours to use at authorized retailers. And not only can you use your EBT card at grocery stores, but in many states, you can also use it online at Walmart, Amazon, and other participating stores. Some states even allow EBT payments at local farmers markets, giving families access to fresh produce right from the source. That said, there are restrictions. SNAP benefits cannot be used for alcohol, tobacco, or non-food items like cleaning supplies and toiletries. But for groceries, everything from bread to milk to vegetables, it's one of the most flexible and widely accepted forms of assistance in the country. In just a moment, we're going to dive deeper into eligibility, common mistakes couples make, and what you can do if your payment is delayed. But before we do, let me ask you this: are you receiving the full $535 this August? Or is your household getting a different amount? Let me know in the comments below, because your experience can help others understand what's happening across different states. Together, we can make sure no one is left in the dark about their benefits. Stay safe, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next update. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. I post daily videos breaking down the latest SNAP, EBT, and Social Security news, and I want to make sure you always have the information you need to protect your benefits. Also, drop a comment below: are you and your partner receiving the full $535 this August? Or is your payment a different amount? Your experience could help others in the same situation. And of course, if you found value in this video, give it a like and share it with someone who might need this information today.